Hi, everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of My Favorite Mai Tai. We have Tiki royalty in the house today.
Can we not do that?
All right, yeah.
I think he was talking about me.
I was talking about Pete. Who are you? Hi, everyone. Welcome to My Favorite Mai Tai. And today we're going to be talking about Mai Tais. I mean, we have Kevin Crossman here of Ultimate Mai Tai. And it made me start thinking about, like, well, what makes you a Mai Tai, the ultimate Mai Tai for you? Like in you too, Pete. Like what, when you're going to make a Mai Tai that you really, really enjoy, what is that? What are the characteristics? What are you looking for? Because I have a feeling that all three of us are looking for three different things when we're looking for a good tasting Mai Tai. Now, Kevin, you have your recipe. And can you just kind of go through it real quick? I know you have like a rum blend.
Yeah, so my Ultimate Mai Tai from ultimatemaitai.com is 4 rums. It's Appleton 12, Smith & Cross, Plantaray Jamaica, which is, they're all 3 Jamaican rums.
Yep.
And then OFTD, which is a blended rum. So there's extra boozy, equal parts. So it's a rum forward Mai Tai because you're using bold, heavy rums.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm looking for in a Mai Tai.
You want the rum to be forward.
I want to be rum forward. I want to taste the rum.
Yeah.
Some other people might like a lighter style rum because they want to maybe taste some of the other flavors more, less on the rum. And I think that's kind of the story about, like, what is my favorite Mai Tai?
Yeah.
It's my ultimate Mai Tai for me, and maybe for somebody else, but maybe not for somebody else who doesn't like that style.
Listen, my favorite Mai Tai is Kevin's Mai Tai, but unlike rum forward, I prefer. Yeah. I really am looking for balance.
Yeah.
My favorite cocktails are things that, like, oh, there's a front end, there's a middle, and there's an end. It tells a story. Kevin's Mai Tai definitely tells a story to me, and I can just sit there and sip on it all day and be like, wow, this is okay. There's that I'm hitting that the Orgeat is my Orgeat's popping up at first. Then I'm experiencing the different rum blends. And then I'm looking for that hint of orange in the back, and that tells a story, and I like it like that. I think that's so. The balance for me is more than the pronouncement of the rums.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, like when it comes to like what my ultimate Mai Tai would be, I'll tell you what I don't want. I don't want too much lime. I don't like too much lime in a Mai Tai. I mean, like we're talking about Nui that's down the street from us. They're notorious for having just too much lime in their Mai Tai. I mean, they usually say like an ounce of lime, and I usually like to be about 3/4 of an ounce of lime. Mm-hmm. And another thing I'm not a big fan of is the really nutty, real milky Orgeat. I kind of like the more, like we were saying before, like a clearer Orgeat.
Yeah.
Those are the two definite things that I don't like. But when it comes to the rums, are you all about the funk? Is that what's important?
No, I wouldn't say it's about funk per se. It's about a heavier, like rummy flavor, but not necessarily like that very estery, funky Jamaican. I mean, that's why in my blend you've got Appleton 12, which is a little bit more mild.
Yeah.
And even Jamaica's not so funky.
Yeah.
So again, that's for me. Some people might like a little rum fire or something like that in their Mai Tai. And if that's what
there's people that use rum fire in a Mai Tai?
Oh, yeah.
Not me, no.
Why would you do that? Well, that's one thing I realize that I'm not, out of all the different rums, I mean, like the Jamaican rums are like, I don't want it to be I want a little bit of funk, but not too funky.
Right.
And especially like when it comes to like a Mai Tai. I really think that like what my favorite blend is when you're using the agricole. An agricole and a Jamaican.
Was that Beach Bum Berry's idea, the agricole?
Yes.
First Mai Tai?
He's really promoted that. When he started publishing his books, he went to the Trader Vic's Bartender's Guide from '72, which called for a Jamaican rum and Martinique rum. At the time when that book was published, it probably was not an agricole. It was a molasses-based Martinique rum. But by the time he started publishing his books in the 90s and 2000s, the only Martinique rum you could get was an agricole.
Yeah.
A lot of people will say, well, that's not what Trader Vic used originally. And that's absolutely true. On the other hand, it's two rums that taste great together if you like those flavors. And if that's what you want in your Mai Tai, that's great. And there's so many great Mai Tais that include agricole or sugarcane distillate in the components.
Yeah.
Like Rumba has a little bit in there, and also Inside Passage. So, to me, a little bit of that could be great. If it's super, super heavy on the agricole, it's not my style.
Yeah.
But maybe
I want a balance. I want a half and half.
Yeah.
I mean, like for like a long, long time, I would do an ounce of Clement and then an ounce of Karuba.
Okay. Yep.
And that made a good solid Mai Tai. Then when the Denizen 8 came out, then that just kind of changed everything for me, because then I was just using. I remember there was a point where I was doing an ounce of the Clement, an ounce of the Denizen, and then it just became just 2 ounces of the Denizen.
Okay.
What's your opinion of the Denizen 8?
Well, it's a great blended rum that includes Jamaica and some Martinique-based Grand Arome.
Yeah.
So it's from molasses. And it makes a really, really good Mai Tai. And, I've done blind taste tests, and Denizen came out ahead on, compared to some other single bottles. It seems like sort of a pat answer to choose this thing, which was designed to be a Mai Tai rum.
Yeah.
Like, well, you should use something different. Well, maybe you should use the one that tastes really good in a Mai Tai.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever had something where you've been where they used a rum that you normally wouldn't think would be in a Mai Tai? And it worked, or it didn't work?
I don't know if anything specifically comes to mind per se. I mean, I've had Mai Tais with a bunch of different kind of rums, and even some of those sort of like sipping rums like Zaya. Sometimes those can be okay in a Mai Tai if you balance out the sugar, because those have added sugar in them. So it could be all right,
Yeah. What about you, Pete?
And the ABV is much lower too if you use those kind of rums, right? So you have to be wary of that. What was your question, Rick?
Yeah, well, the question is like when it comes to the funk, like what kind when it comes to the rums, like what are you looking for when you're making a Mai Tai?
Again, listen. The ultimate Mai Tai is my favorite. 44 again, I try to make quite often, but I like to have the higher end rums. I try to go for like your Appleton 12s and things. I do like the taste profile of those are a little bit better than just kind of a. I mean, you can make it with a normal Appleton, but it's just not the same.
Well, what's below an Appleton 12? The Appleton Signature? Or is
Well,
there something
there's
in
an
the middle?
8, and then there's Signature.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there is an 8.
Yeah.
But Signature is it's aged 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
You don't quite get those aging notes, which I like to have in my Mai Tai.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the original Mai Tai was, a 17-year-old aged rum. So you had a lot of barrel in that, one would expect. Not that I've ever tasted it, but, it's 17 years.
Yeah.
So aged rums. But again, if some people prefer unaged agricoles or Jamaicans or whatever, again, it's rum. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that template that Trader Vic did with the Mai Tai, to Trader Vic's, they serve a vodka Thai. They serve the one with tequila or bourbon, and it tastes great. I had one with an Irish whiskey, and it's those flavors in support of a specific spirit.
Yeah.
Can be great.
No, well, with the whiskey, that would be honey then, right?
Yes. Well, for bourbon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which it's a great drink. I think the thing that I found that was amazing is I did my favorite Mai Tai episode with my buddy Steven, and it was the Menehune juice, which is a Trader Vic's drink. It's literally a 44 Mai Tai. Instead of using like a Jamaican rum, you use like a white, I think a white Puerto Rican rum, and we made a round of them, and you're drinking it. It was a different cocktail. Mm-hmm. It was crazy. Have you ever had a Menehune juice?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it's like you taste it and you're like, this is its own thing.
Yeah.
And it was funny, and then he added some Jamaican rum, and it immediately tastes like a Mai Tai, like a regular Mai Tai.
I think we were talking about the Appleton 12 and the Appleton Signature. I think you would even tell the big difference in Kevin's Ultimate Mai Tai. For me, I think the signature is a little bit more fruity. It almost has actually has an apple-y taste to it.
Yeah.
Which is odd. I mean, it's called Appleton, but I get apple taste in the notes of it. But the Appleton 12, yeah, it's a big difference. It's huge. It's a huge leap.
And you got to try the Appleton 17.
17, the legend.
So what you got it for you from a birthday present?
I got it as a birthday present. It was in one of our prior videos on bamboo and bitters.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I thought the Mai Tai was fantastic. It was delicious. It was great. He gave me an ounce to try on its own, and the rum was a little astringent. It was a little bit. I was shocked too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it would have been like a great sipping rum, but in a Mai Tai, it tasted great. I don't know if you had the same experience. I know you tried it too.
It is a more pungent rum, which is harkening back to the original Mai Tai rum. And that's why it's so great in the cocktails, that it's standing up to all these other ingredients where a more subtle rum would get lost.
Yeah.
Or in a case of Menehune juice, where you get not a lot of rum flavor, so you're getting out some of these flavors from the Curacao and the Orgeat. But I paid $200 for a Mai Tai with that Appleton 17.
You got to do it once.
It's like, it's so expensive, but I thought if I don't have it, I'll regret it for the rest of my life.
Sure.
And it was really fabulous. So it's great.
But how? Okay. Well, I mean, you had that at Trader Vic's.
Right.
How different was that Mai Tai to the Mai Tai that you would just get at Trader Vic's?
Not much different.
Not much different.
No, not much different. I mean, again,
So it wasn't like, oh my god, this is a game change.
No.
See, I have a different opinion on that.
I will say the rum did pop a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it was a vast difference. Kevin might disagree.
So when I had the 17 at Smuggler's Cove for $200, I ordered their regular Mai Tai to go next to it as a side by side. And the Smuggler's Cove Mai Tai, everyone says it's one of the best anywhere for years and years. It tasted like garbage to me compared to the Appleton 17. It was not bad. It was a really good Mai Tai, but to me that Appleton 17 was so much better.
Sorry, Martin.
So much. It was just so much better because the rum was just so much more forward and had all these more complex flavors that I really, really
well. That goes back to what you were saying earlier, though. You want that rum to pop a little bit more in your drink. So yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly.
Well, normally, how, in your opinion, how is the Smuggler's Cove Mai Tai there?
It's great. It
is great.
Top 10 in the world.
But what you're saying is that the $200 Mai Tai was that much of an improvement. When you went back to their regular Mai Tai, it just
right. Any comparison.
No comparison.
Right.
Wow.
Okay.
It's like when you taste a fine wine next to $2 Chuck, right?
Yeah.
The $2 Chuck is going to taste bad.
Does the job.
Compared, it's going to taste bad comparatively, but then when you just open a new $2 Chuck with dinner, it tastes fine, right? It's just in the comparison.
Yeah. $2 Chuck. Do you drink that shit?
I don't.
Trader,
I don't drink wine.
Trader Joe's does have its own rum. And I have tried it. Not on camera yet, but it's dangerous. We're professionals. Leave it to us.
I got a bottle. This would have been like 2017 or something like that. I was down in Portland and I got a bottle. It was like the amber rum. It was like,
Rum of the Gods.
Yeah, Rum of the Gods.
And it was great. It made a great Mai Tai. And then they came out with a whole new series where they had like a white rum, like a gold rum, and then like a dark rum. And that gold rum was completely different than what I had.
Oh, okay.
But it made a great Mai Tai though.
No.
Now when it comes to
straight sipping,
yeah. Well, the thing I've learned anything, like for example, I was a big fan of the Jamaica, using Jamaica in a Mai Tai.
Okay.
And again, 2 ounces of Jamaica made it an awesome Mai Tai.
It's got a lot of flavor, and it's not so expensive. So
it was a work rum.
Yeah.
That was the thing. I mean, but to taste it by itself, definitely not a sipping rum.
It's not designed for that.
No, but in a Mai Tai, it completely worked for me. When it comes to the other ingredients in a Mai Tai, let's talk about Orgeat. What kind of Orgeat are you looking for? You said you like beach bum berries.
Yeah. Orgeat, Orgeat's not that hard to make.
Yeah.
Orgeat's not that hard to make at home.
Yeah.
But I'm so lazy in the kitchen. I just do the retail stuff.
Yeah.
I like a lighter, clearer Orgeat.
Yeah.
But Liber is a product that is very milky and has a little bit of a toasted almond vibe,
Yeah.
which I think is pretty good too. I just don't like those ones like Small Hands has a weird taste to me. You got to really shake it. And so it's it's not my thing.
I'm sorry. When I think of Small Hands, I think of that SNL skit where it's the chick with the little hands.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. The big forehead.
Yeah.
And
Choose an Orgeat that you like the taste of in combination with your other ingredients is the key thing.
So I like, you know me, I like sweeter drinks to begin with, and I've always been a big fan of the B.G. Reynolds syrups.
Sure, yeah,
So
really good.
I really like the B.G. Reynolds Orgeat. Definitely a lot different than like say Beach Bum Berries, but I like that Orgeat.
Yeah, yeah. But
See, I
make it at home.
Yeah, I prefer, and again, this is Derek's recipe for Orgeat on making drink. But I want it to. I want to be able to taste it in the drink. I don't want it to overwhelm the drink by any means, but I do want it to be somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And again, I prefer that balance in the Mai Tai.
Yeah, I mean, I want the balance too. Mm-hmm. Now, Curacao. Now you're saying that you're cool with using the Kirkland.
Well, yeah.
The Kirkland, and you guys did a taste test in another video, and you were saying it wasn't that much different.
Yeah, it tasted
great. than the Maison Ferrand dry Curacao.
Yeah, I mean, the orange Curacao or the orange liqueur in a Mai Tai is probably the least important part.
Yeah.
It's usually the thing, if something is going to get screwed up in a Mai Tai, it's probably not that.
Yeah.
It's probably bad lime or too much lime or weird tasting Orgeat or rums that just sort of sit there. And yeah, I think, don't go cheap because you feel like you have to, but if you do a blind test and this one's half the price or even less, and you still have got good ABV off of it, why not?
Yeah.
It's great. De Kuyper is also really cheap and pretty good too. So, use whatever one you want. And I wouldn't stress about it. I do see sometimes people will blend the orange liqueur, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, just like you're blending rums. And if that's what you want to do, that's cool with me too.
I've had Mai Tais where Cointreau was used.
Cointreau, sure.
And even Grand Marnier and the thing, or even the Creole Shrub from Clement. And the thing that I found is it was a little too much orange. That orange came up too much. So I mean, I'm a big fan of just kind of like using like like when the dry Curacao came out. Then I loved that. That's what I use. And I'll be honest with you, Kevin, I don't remember if there was a lot of good options that you could have gotten back then for a Curacao.
Well, I think that,
or even an orange liqueur.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is like, you would expect if you're the type of person who knows that low-end rums are terrible, you think like low-end orange liqueurs might be terrible too, and maybe there's some bad ones there.
Yeah.
But that's why you got to try it because maybe the Kuyper or the Kirkland, it's not so expensive to take a flyer on, and you know what? Maybe it's all right.
By the way, I'm not opposed to any of the higher brands. I just
exactly.
When it comes to the ingredients, the measurements, how much do you think that's important?
Well, you really have to measure.
Obviously you got your 2 ounce, you got 2 ounces of rum, whatever it's going to be.
Yep.
Now, when it comes to lime, I said I like 3/4 of an ounce of a lime. What do you like?
1, but if you like it a little less, that's okay too.
What about you, Pete?
I'm with Kevin. 1, yeah.
Straight up 1 ounce.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, 1/2 ounce of the orange Curacao and
1/2 ounce of the orange Curacao
and the Orgeat. Trader used a 1/4 ounce of rock candy syrup, but some people use Demerara. Some people use more Orgeat. Again, or maybe omit that because
I was going to say
because they like it a little drier.
What's your thoughts on like making a Mai Tai without any kind of a simple syrup in it?
Again, if you like it less sweet, then and especially if you're using 3/4 of an ounce of lime, to bring that down, maybe you don't need that. Component.
Does it even make a difference, Demerara versus a plain simple? Are you going to taste that?
I think so.
I think you do get a little bit of that burnt sugar flavor.
See, I honestly think that that whatever you're going to use as the sweetener, because I got this tip from Colonel Tiki to use. I was using B.G. Reynolds Divine Vanilla. I'd use a 1/4 ounce of that.
Right.
And
That can be great.
It was incredible. I mean, and then you could tell, you can taste the vanilla notes in it, you know.
Yep. Now, you were asking about measurements.
Yeah.
And we went to Rumba, and I've been there a bunch of times. The Mai Tai is well acclaimed. We both got it. We both thought it tasted way too sweet.
Yeah.
And you asked the server, hey, this tastes a little too sweet. Did you maybe use too much Orgeat? And they said, you know what? We just switched our Orgeat. We switched the recipe from a half ounce to a quarter ounce. And the bartender probably would use the old measurement.
Yeah.
They took them away. They brought the new ones back. It tasted fantastic.
Yeah.
One quarter ounce difference on one ingredient and all this thing. So, yeah, you got to measure it, because if you use a little bit too much or not enough, it'll throw the balance off.
The thing that I love about this series that I've been doing is, for the most part, I think everyone that's made their Mai Tai, their favorite Mai Tai, goes off the 44 recipe. I don't think I've had anyone on the show where they did, like, say, the Hawaiian Mai Tai or anything like that. And just changing, again, the same 5 ingredients, and just changing the rums, changing the amount of curacao, the amount of orgeat, or even simple syrup, drastically changed what the drink tastes like.
Why is the Mai Tai still so pop? There's so many. We live in an age where there's so many hundreds, thousands of great tiki drinks. Why is the Mai Tai still so relevant?
Well, I think part of it is it's coming from the provenance of Trader Vic, right? If it was some random person who somehow made this same drink, it probably wouldn't be popular today, because you're tying off of Trader Vic, one of the original sort of tiki, franchises. But also, it's really just a great balanced drink, and especially because of the ability for the rum to be sort of swapped around a little bit. Everybody can do their own little spin on it. So when you go to this tiki bar or that cocktail place, they can do their own thing, and it's half the fun is exploring, how they do it differently. So I think, it became really popular, but a martini is still popular, a margarita is still popular. These classics are classics for reasons, because they are great cocktails. As long as you don't screw around with it too much, they're still great.
Here's my answer for that same question. Just exactly what Kevin said, is the Mai Tai is just a great drink. It's a great tasting drink. When it comes to Don Beach's drinks, like his claim to fame, of course, is the zombie. But a true 34 recipe zombie, that's not an approachable drink. It's not. It's a strong drink. It's very strong. And a lot of Don Beachcomber's drinks are kind of going in that. They're heavy. They're heavy. You're dealing with absinthe and drops of absinthe and the stuff. They're not as approachable as like the Mai Tai is. I mean, the cool thing about a Mai Tai is it's light enough that anyone can drink one and enjoy it. And that's why I think, you would, and I don't know. I mean, what in your opinion? From what I understand, like when it came to a lot of the Donna Beachcomber locations throughout history, there wasn't a lot of consistency in the actual restaurants. It seems like there was a lot that were like opened up and then they were around for like a couple years, then they closed down. But it seemed to me like for example, I didn't realize this until like a couple years ago that there was actually a Donna Beachcomber in Seattle, and I'm like, whoa, where was when was this? And I saw where the address was, like, oh, it was in that building, and it was literally like there for like 2 years, and it just didn't match. I'm wondering is that Trader Vic's, they had locations all across the country for like a long time. Do you think there was just better quality control, like when it came to the drinks? So say if you were going to get a Mai Tai at the Emeryville location, is it going to be the same as if I got a Mai Tai in the Portland location?
Well, first of all, Don Beach changed the recipe for the zombie a couple times.
Yes, he did. Yeah, drastically.
So that's a factor too. Whereas Trader Vic didn't really change it. He did. The original Hawaiian Mai Tai was a little bit of a slightly different version, but in the Trader Vic's restaurants, it was kind of consistent. But I will tell you, I've been to Atlanta at Trader Vic's earlier this year, and they do it a little differently there. You have to call for a 44 Mai Tai to get the actual 44.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I was in Munich last year. The rums they use are a little bit
Yeah.
different. So yeah, each one of these franchise locations might choose different sourced rums or other ingredients based on where they are, different countries, all that sort of thing. But yes, probably Trader Vic was still hands-on during his lifetime, and so was probably more forward about here's how it should be made,
Yeah.
and a little bit more consistent than Don the Beachcomber, which really became a franchised, location into the 50s and beyond.
Until his wife took it.
Well,
Right.
the interesting thing is like she literally took it over like immediately.
Yeah.
Like Don, like I mean, if you've seen the Don the Beachcomber documentary, Don Beach was the very very first one. The one that was like around before Prohibition. All of a sudden, hey, Prohibition's off, it's around. And then there was the second one that he built across the street, which was like more of like a restaurant. But then when you get to like Palm Springs in Chicago, Sonny already took it over, and his role was more of like an ambassador, like it's nuts, and
Yeah.
it's funny. It's like in the Tiki culture, we consider Don Beach to be like the godfather of Tiki, and rightfully so. Mm-hmm. But I really think, between Don the Beachcomber as a restaurant chain, or Trader Vic's, I just think Trader Vic's was more popular. It just seems like there was more locations that stuck around longer. Because I mean, I've been into Tiki. I've been going to Tiki bar since like 2006, and there wasn't any Don the Beachcomber locations open. And that being said, the Don the Beachcomber that was on Huntington Beach, that's not even like a real Don the Beachcomber.
Right. They bought the name, and they did use some of his old recipes, but there's not a direct line.
There wasn't. Yeah.
Whereas Trader Vic's, the franchise, the company didn't die.
Yeah.
They continued to make food products. They continued to make have these restaurants. Some that they owned, some that were franchised.
Yeah. And I mean, getting back to it, I haven't drank any alcohol in like a couple of years now, but like, if I was to like have like what Tiki cocktail would I have? Maybe a Mai Tai.
Yeah.
I'd want a Mai Tai before I'd want like a Jet Pilot or a Zombie or anything like that.
That's the bar tester too, right? You always order the Mai Tai first to see if
For a lot of people,
Get an
that's what
idea.
you get. I mean, my go-to was always the 3 dots and a dash because the 3 dots and a dash tastes like a 3 dots and a dash.
Yeah.
But as I was saying before with the Mai Tai, and kind of bringing this whole episode to back to a close, that's the reason why I like to do these kind of episodes, talking about, because it's 5 ingredients for the 44 recipe, but changing any of those things definitely changes the drink. It's going to be a special issue.
It's special.
It's going to be.
Just don't call me Tiki Bro.
It's going to be one of those ones like Oprah, where she's like, today on it we have a very special episode of Oprah today, because something serious is going to happen.
Right.
But there's nothing serious.
kind of like on Family Matters when the father had a heart attack, right?
Yeah.
That was a very special episode.
A very special one, or like all those very special episodes of all those old shows are just like something fucked up is going to happen. Or happens.
That's right.
Yeah, don't go into that basement there, Willis.
Want to support the Tiki with Ray show and look cool doing it at the same time? Then head over to tikiwithray.com and buy yourself a Tiki with Ray shirt. They're only $20. Tony Canepa did the design, and they're screen printed in America.